Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in this edition of Rapper Review. And today I want to talk about the movie Black Adam. And if it seems like this movie has been in production forever, well, that's because it's been in production for a very long time. Over 8 years we have been waiting for this movie to come out. And finally, Black Adam has hit theaters and it has had it's had a pretty solid weekend, opening at $67 million domestically and over $142 million worldwide, becoming The Rock's biggest debut or biggest opening as a lead in his career, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. Now, this movie again stars The Rock and Sarah Shahi, Pierce Bronson, along with Aldis Hodge. And I think The Rock was born to play a superhero. And I don't know why it's taking so long for this to happen, because honestly, he delivered one of his best performances ever. There's always been this notion that rappers and athletes have limited range when it comes to acting, and I do think that that's fair. Of course, there have been exceptions like Will Smith, Ice-T, LL Cool J, but if The Rock continues to deliver performances like this, man, one day he may find himself at the Oscars and have the opportunity to slap the shit out of Chris Rock too. Now, this movie isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but there are quite a few things that I did like about it. For one, The Rock's portrayal of Black Adam. Now, for me, a lot of times, my definite version of these comic book characters come from the animated versions. For example, when I think of Batman, my Batman is Kevin Conroy from the animated series Batman, and every Batman is measured against his version. Mark Hamill is my Joker, and every version of Joker is measured against Mark Hamill's Joker. And the Wolverine from the animated series, that is my Wolverine. Even though Hugh Jackman has won me over, he's won over everyone, but still, my definite Wolverine when I think of Wolverine is that version. And the animated version and video game versions of Black Adam, man, this guy is a very dark, stoic, no-nonsense type of guy that plays by his own rules. Black Adam in the animated versions, this dude would hit a kid with a car. He'd have there would be no hesitation into kicking the kid's ass. And I think that The Rock's adaptation truly captures that. For so long, The Rock has kind of been typecast, and when we go to see him or when we see him in a movie, it's just like The Rock playing The Rock. But this is one of the few times where he actually submerged himself into a character and became that character. I also like the effects in this movie. A lot of comic book movies and shows are getting really sloppy with CGI, She-Hulk, anybody, to the point where it's become so distracting. I mean, distracting to the point where you can't even watch it. But the effects in this movie are really good. And there's one scene where The Rock is taking on this military unit, and it's pretty dope, man. And it's just good to see that DC took his time with the special effects in this movie. A lot of people are saying the same thing that I'm saying about the special effects. Also, there's no wokeness or misandry or feminist ideology in this movie, which is a very pleasant surprise. It's very rare in today's world that a young man or a boy can watch a movie or hear anything that isn't telling him how inferior he is. It's good to just go to a movie and watch a movie and not be, preached to with all of this woke bullshit, man. So that is very good, and it gets extra points from me for that. What I didn't like about this movie, Sarah Shahi's character has a son in this movie, and this little nigga is super, super annoying. But sometimes as an adult, we kind of forget that these movies are made for kids as well. And keeping that in mind, I guess I know why he's in it. I remember Terminator 2 as a kid and how John Connor really made that movie. But now as an adult, he's kind of annoying. So I guess it all depends on where you are, age range in your life, how you'll take this character. But all in all, this movie was a good movie. I plan on giving it a second viewing, but as of now, it gets a 3 out of 5 star rating for me. But I definitely do think it's worth the watch. Before I go, I also want to talk about the end credit scene with Henry Cavill suiting up as Superman. And I gotta tell you, man, that brought a smile to my face. DC has the two most popular characters of all time in Batman and Superman. And how they've managed to fuck up the DCEU in such a way, I'll never understand it. But with Marvel in such a decline, man, maybe there is hope for DC after all. And this movie may be the start of that. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Till next time, peace.